Nation Incorporated. When people hear the term private detective, they think of Sam Spade, Sherlock Holmes, or Peter Gunn. But now with high-tech computers and public records, the detective may be the guy or girl next door, or it could be you. Welcome to Check It Out, the first nationwide TV show ever that actually teaches you how to be your own detective. And now, please welcome Emmy Award winner, TV star, popular talk show host, and your co-host for the next 30 riveting and revealing minutes, Miss Vicki Lawrence.
To tell you what an exciting program you're about to see. In the next few minutes, you're actually going to learn how to get the goods on no-good lovers, how to uncover a wealth in hidden assets, and even how to track down long-lost lovers, friends, birth parents, and relatives. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce the man who is about to help you learn how to find out everything about anybody. The New York Times calls him a new breed who has appeared on such shows as Joan Rivers, America's Most Wanted, Sally Jesse, and Donahue. He's one of America's top private investigators, the man the bad guys love to hate, and my new best friend, internationally renowned Ed Pankau. So now, you honestly believe, Ed, that anybody can be their own detective?
Vicki, I guarantee that by using the tips, tools, and techniques in my new Check It Out PI portfolio, anyone can be his or her own detective. And in today's world, people need to have this information to protect themselves, both personally and professionally.
And I think probably we should put Mr. Pankau's guarantee to the test. So who out there has somebody or something that you would like to check out? Like maybe a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, maybe hidden assets, an employer. Oh, hidden assets got a big one.
Yeah.
An employee, maybe. Look, just about everybody has their hand up in the audience. Okay, I want to talk to somebody who would like to be their own detective. Stand up. What is your name?
My name's Amy.
Amy, what would you like to find out?
Basically, I would like to maybe hire a detective or find out what my boyfriend's been up to when I'm not around.
What your boyfriend is up to when you're not around? What does he do?
He moved to Los Angeles. I live in Orange County, and there is a distance between us, and I see him on the weekends and everything, but I'd like to know if he's maybe dating other people, if I'm not there or something.
Ooh, we want to see.
I want to marry him.
Right? Oh, you do want to marry him. So this is a serious relationship. How would we go about checking this guy out, Ed?
One of the things I'd want to know is, where is he on those nights that he's not seeing you? And there's a lot of things. A driver's license might tell us if he's getting any tickets, or he's got a DWI, or he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And there's other things, like if he has a car phone, his car phone records are going to tell everybody that calls him and everybody he calls, ingoing and outgoing records. It's all going to be there.
Yeah, you think so?
I'll tell you what we need to do is to give you one of our Check It Out PI portfolios.
You just sit down, Ed. I'll take care of that. There you go, Amy. You're gonna find out all about this son of a gun. You are, in no time. I would like to introduce you all now to a person who knows firsthand how much Ed's PI tips and tools and techniques can mean in someone's life. This is Jackie over there. Say hi, Jackie. Jackie's incredible story started over 12 years ago, yeah?
1981.
Tell everybody what happened to you.
I was divorced in 1981, and in 1982, my ex-husband took my 3 children, and I searched for them for 12 years.
You just hit nothing but dead ends for 12 years?
Yes.
And then how did you find out about Ed?
I read about Ed's book in a magazine article, and contacted Ed, and with his information, I found them in 36 hours.
What did you think? What did you feel? I mean, after 12 years...
It was a miracle. I was in love with Ed.
But that's another show. How did you make the reunion happen?
I contacted the children by mail, and then they called me. My daughter's here with me.
And this is, stand up, hon, this is... Tamara, how did you feel when your mom contacted you?
I was really confused, and I was really excited to get to know her.
Because Dad had basically told you that she wanted nothing to do with you, right? So it had to be pretty emotional.
It was very emotional.
I have a lot to be thankful for to Ed.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Tamara. make you feel really good.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. In just a few moments, we're going to tell all of you watching how you can get your own Check It Out PI portfolio. PI portfolio can help us be our own detective. But in what areas exactly can it help us most?
3 very important categories.
Okay.
They are, number 1, checking out cheating spouses or dangerous. The fact is, with the way life is today, almost everyone watching this program, sooner or later, will need to be able to do at least one of these 3 things.
And in fact, that is just what Carolyn in Houston, Texas found out when she decided to check out the guy who promised her everything.
Carolyn and her friends enjoyed going to upscale clubs to drink, dance, and meet new people. When she met Trent, Carolyn felt she had finally found her soulmate. Over the next 3 weeks, Trent told Carolyn everything she wanted to hear. He told her he had inherited a successful business and that he was very wealthy. Carolyn felt their future together would be wonderful. After a month of dating, they planned to have a lavish wedding, and Carolyn ran up $7,000 in expenses. Trent assured her he would cover the cost with his trust account. When they applied for a marriage license, Trent couldn't find his identification, took the application, and insisted on filling it out later. After 3 weeks, the marriage license still had not arrived, and Carolyn became suspicious.
Using information available in the Check It Out PI portfolio, I did a quick search of courthouse records. I discovered that Trent was 51 years old and not the 36 he had claimed to be. I also found out that Trent had been married 3 times and that there was an outstanding warrant for his arrest. He also lived with women all over the state using different names and had abandoned a wife and 2 children without paying a cent in support.
I know everything, all the lies. You're 51.
Whoever told you that was lying. Come on, I can prove it. Come on, babe.
Trent suggested that Carolyn meet him the next day at a private heliport so they could go away together. Carolyn agreed to meet him, but she was not alone. Had Carolyn used the information in the PI portfolio sooner, she might have saved herself a lot of money and heartache.
What a scuzzbag that guy was.
You know, Vicki, with my new portfolio, anyone can be their own detective.
You know, I would think it must drive your fellow detectives nuts that you're sort of like handing out this information for free, all the tricks of the trade that have made them rich. The average detective charges, I think it was $250 for a background search.
Fine, more like $400.
Fine, Ed, $400 for a background search. $500 to hunt for hidden assets.
That's the minimum, Vicki. We've seen cases where people have paid over $100,000 to find hidden assets.
Right. And maybe $1,000 to look for a lost loved one. Does that sound about right?
That's right.
So it's pretty expensive, and you're teaching people pretty much how to do it for next to nothing.
The PI portfolio really does contain all that information. The information anyone needs to be their own detective. Like the top 5 warning signs every dating woman should know.
This is good stuff, girls. Get your pencils on.
Number 1, the guy you're dating is reluctant to give you his phone number. 2, he doesn't let you meet his family. 3, he doesn't share his past with you. And if he does, it doesn't bear out. 4, he lies to others in front of you. And 5, watch out if he disappears on weekends and holidays.
This sounds like my marriage. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What else is in the Check It Out PI portfolio?
How to find out if the guy has a violent past, if he's up to his ears in debt, and even if he has a criminal record.
You don't have to shell out a dime to a detective or a lawyer.
It's all in the PI portfolio, step by step. Anyone can do it.
Here's a good one for you. How do you know if you have a cheater on your hands?
The PI portfolio reveals the 6 telltale signs of a cheating spouse or partner, as well as how to trace your spouse's phone calls and get motel and credit card receipts that tell you everything they've done. Plus, it tells you how to find out if your husband or wife's money is going into someone else's pockets or pocketbook. With the PI portfolio, you can usually do it all from your own home. If you simply punch redial on your spouse's car phone, you'd be amazed at what you find. If they're having an affair, their last call on the way home is to their secret lover.
You are in so much trouble, Al. Later on, you're going to learn how to find a lost loved one. Next, we're going to show you the true life story of someone who used Ed's techniques to uncover a fortune in hidden assets. But first, here's how you can get your own PI portfolio. And when in doubt, check it out. Welcome back. For those of you that are just joining us, I'm here with Super Sleuth Ed Pankau, the guy the government calls in to consult on major investigations. And he's telling us how easy it is now for you to actually be your own detective. So, Ed, now that we're all really mad at our husbands, what's next?
Let's talk money.
Oh, good. As in hidden assets?
Bingo.
All right. Now, how many people out here probably have hidden assets that they don't even know about?
Almost everyone does. How many of you out there have ever had an elderly relative that passed away? Okay. And how many of you applied for his or her $255 Social Security benefit? Aha. I think you get the point. Most people don't even know these things exist, but every next of kin is entitled to it. The PI portfolio tells you how to get it. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
So wait a minute, Ed. How much money does this mean that the government is holding on to that actually belongs to us?
The government now has over $300 billion in unclaimed money. All you have to do to find out if any of it is yours is to simply write a letter.
What kind of a letter?
Your Check It Out PI portfolio gives you a sample letter and even tells you where to send it. That means that either 29 cents could net you hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
All right, I want to go up here in the aisle. And who wants to look for some hidden assets? Yeah, stand up. What is your name?
My name's Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
What do you think you're looking for?
Well, 20 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and he had made quite a bit of money. He was a multimillionaire, being a successful lawyer and other businesses that he had done. When it was time to find the will, they couldn't find it. And he had remarried, and my step-grandmother has everything now. So I'm just curious, is there anything I can do to find out about this?
Yeah, what can you do?
Well, there's two things you can do right now. First, go to the county where he died and look in the probate records to see if there was a probate of his estate. It would list the assets, the liabilities, and the people that inherited. Also, in the counties where he owned property, you can search the real property records and see where property was transferred from him to some other party.
Did it ever dawn on you to do any of this?
No, I mean, I just now was thinking about it, and I really would like to pursue it now.
Vicki, I think he needs
I'll
a
be
PI
happy
portfolio.
to get that for him, Ed. You just relax. Right there, I'll do that. Okay. Now, Ed, good luck, by the way. A lot of times people hide their assets and they don't want you to know where they are.
Yes, Vicki. Many times people that get divorces or know that they've got a divorce coming will hide their assets so they don't have to give them up in a settlement.
Exactly right, which brings us to Barbara's story. Barbara was married to this guy for 14 years, and you didn't even know that he had this whole other identity going on.
Correct.
He encouraged you to set up credit in your name. Tell us about that.
Well, he said, Barbara, you need credit in your own name. So I did that. I applied for the credit card, and what happened, he intercepted that card and changed the address, and of course charged up quite a large amount, but the credit card company held me responsible. Then a friend told me to look at my inheritance, so I went to look at my mother's, my personal inheritance for my mother, and also the children's education fund. Found they were gone. They were gone.
Hey, what do you think about the PI portfolio?
I think it would be excellent if you had those tools ahead of time and just question things.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I can't believe what you've been through. I want you all to take a look now at an incredible story of a woman who found out that her husband was hiding more than just his assets.
Although I really couldn't afford it, I hired a private investigator, Mr. Ed Pankau, to follow my husband. Tom was acting strangely, and I suspected that he was drinking too much. Ed discovered that Tom was spending his afternoons at a nearby condominium with a blonde mistress. Ed also discovered that Tom owned that condo. I was very upset and refused to believe him, even though he had pictures. Ed was very understanding, and the next day I saw for myself that my husband had betrayed me. I decided then to file for divorce. Ed gave me the PI portfolio that showed me how to continue investigating my husband myself. It was so easy. Using public sources of information, I discovered that Tom was a partner in a business with personal real estate holdings in excess of $2.6 million.
Yes, I have.
I couldn't believe it. I was having trouble finding the money to feed and clothe our children. I should have looked into Tom's records long before. When the divorce hearing came up, Tom claimed his net worth at $400,000. Thanks to my personal sleuthing of Tom's assets, the judge gave Tom half of the $400,000 he claimed and awarded the remaining $2.4 million to me and my children.
There is a God. You know, it occurs to me in watching that and in talking to these ladies that if you got your hands on this and you really studied it, it's almost like a preventative thing. You could use a lot of this stuff before you actually become a victim.
It's all spelled out quickly and simply in the Check It Out PI portfolio.
When we come back, you are going to learn for sure how the Check It Out PI portfolio can even help you track down long-lost lovers and friends and relatives. And we're going to show you an actual reunion that'll have you reaching for those tissues. First, though, here is some important information about how the PI portfolio can help solve or prevent problems in your life. We are here with Super Detective Ed Pankau, the man that Woman's Day calls one of the nation's top private eyes, and we're finding out how you can actually be your own detective. Okay, Ed, so now we have shown how the PI portfolio can help you check out dates and mates, and we have learned about hidden assets, and now it is time to talk about how the portfolio can actually help you locate long-lost lovers and friends and relatives. What is your success rate with that?
Using the tips, tools, and techniques in the Check It Out PI portfolio, our success rate is well over 90%.
What is the single most important piece of tracking information?
How to use the Social Security number. No question. In fact, it's what I call the automatic people finder. It's all in the PI portfolio. For example, do you know that the first 3 digits of a person's Social Security number can instantly tell where he or she is from?
Okay, try me. 561. Where am I from?
Oh, that's easy, Vicki. You're from California. With your next 2 numbers, I can tell you your age.
Now you're really getting on my nerves, Ed.
A Social Security number provides remarkable information.
I know it does. And guess what, kids? It is tissue time. You are about to see how Patty used a simple Social Security number to track down her lost loved one all the way down the aisle.
I decided to start looking for my father when I was approximately 16. I didn't have any information hardly at all. So I called up Ed Pankau in Houston, Texas, and he gave me some real good leads, told me to do what I could on my own because I couldn't afford to hire him at the time. This was my dream all my life, my wish, to find my father, and my dream to have him walk me down the aisle when I get married.
I totally did not think I had any family out there. It wasn't part of my consciousness. And after I got the letter, I called her and I says, "This is Jim Good. I got your letter, and I think we need to talk." She called me a couple hours later and she says, "Are you my dad?"
There's nothing like the feeling of finding someone that you've been looking for all your life. There's no greater joy.
3 weeks ago, to get a letter from my daughter and know that she is my daughter just brings it all together.
I wanted to know why I have dimples, why I had big broad shoulders, why I have freckles. And to me, it was the only way I could find out was to find my real father. I waited 7 years to marry the man that I really loved. And the biggest part of it was because I had no one to walk me down the aisle. That was Dad's job.
Is this woman to be the bride of this man? I do. We're there. 6 months ago, I was in the hospital with pneumonia. I almost died. And it couldn't be more time than just now.
People don't realize what they can put their hands on. If you want to know, you can find out.
Money can't pay for the love, the joy that we have had in the last 3 days. You can't buy it.
What a neat story. I mean, really, God I love her. That's a lovely story. Not all dads, however, are quite that loving. What exactly are the statistics on deadbeat dads?
There are over 16 million deadbeat dads who owe over $18 billion in unpaid child support.
Wow. How many of those guys have you been successful in nabbing?
Hundreds. In fact, one woman who recently learned the techniques in the PI portfolio used them to help her girlfriend recover over $70,000 from her deadbeat dad.
Wow. And she did it all by herself?
Absolutely.
And all of that and more is in the PI portfolio, whether you are checking out dates or mates.
Or both.
And it works just as quickly and easily when you're tracking down hidden assets.
Your own or someone else's.
Plus, the Check It Out PI portfolio is also the perfect guide for locating lost loved ones.
Anywhere in the world.
In just a minute, Ed and I are going to come back and offer you a very special opportunity. But first, here's how you can get the inside track on everything that you've learned today and put it to work for you.